What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Destroyer Productions with another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about what is the better engine between the 5.7 liter and the 6.4. Now, before I get into this video, I know that there's a 6.1 liter out there. I know that it's the granddaddy of the Hellcat, and it's the SRT concept that made the Hellcat what it is today. So, with that being said, guys, I want to hit on the 5.7 liter and the 6.4 liter while I'm doing these videos, and I will make a separate 6.1 liter video in the future. So stick with me, bear with me, and let's talk about the 5.7 and the 6.4 liter. What is the better engine from a performance standpoint? Oh, first things first, we got to talk about specs. So we've got the 5.7 liter V8 coming in at 375 horsepower with 410 pounds of torque. And we have the 6.4 coming in at a 485 horsepower rating with 475 foot-pounds of torque, which are pretty respectable numbers considering in the olden days, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, if you had an engine that had more horsepower than you had cubic inches, you were doing pretty damn well because they would rate an engine's performance and horsepower, based on the cubic inches. So 1 horsepower, 1 cubic inch was basically the rating of the engines back then. So if you had anything beyond the cubic inches, which was kind of unheard of back then, if you had anything beyond the cubic inches of your car, so 392, if you had 392 horsepower or above, you were doing very good. So they really have come a long way in making these cars awesome, making the engines push out a lot compared to what they used to. So yeah, a couple things that are notable about the 5.7 liter. So in 2008 to 2009, when the 2009 models came out, they actually changed the compression ratio from a 9.6 to 1 to a 10.5 to 1. So what this does is it makes the car's overall reliability under pressure a lot better. And the best thing about it is they raised the compression ratio without actually raising the octane required in the 5.7 liter. All right, and to kind of hit on compression ratio, the bigger the compression ratio in most cases is better because you're condensing more of an area down into a smaller area, if that makes sense. So if you have a lower compression ratio, it's a bigger area that you're compressing it down to. If you have a higher compression ratio, you're basically using more efficiency in that piston in order to, or in that cylinder to, maximize volume within it. So there's 4 major elements to how a cylinder and piston work with the rod and the the spark plug and all that stuff. So, and your fuel injectors. So you basically have 4 elements here, and one is intake, you have compression, you have combustion, and then you have exhaust. So take it like this: you have a cylinder, okay, and I'm going to explain this real quick, and I'm going to try to make it for the visual learners how this exactly works if you're new. So you have a cylinder here, and I'm going to turn it so you can see. You have a cylinder, so you have your fuel injectors, right? So when the intake, or when the piston goes up and then it goes down, you have, once it goes down, this is the piston going up and down, right, in the cylinder. Up and down. You have intake that comes in once it goes down. Once it comes up, it compresses. Then that spark plug will ignite, causing combustion on the way back down. And when it comes back up, it exhausts out. I'd love to make a diagram for you guys that would be more visually aesthetic, but I'm not good at doing that. So from now on, you have my hand. So yeah, I hope that does explain a little bit more about what your cylinder is doing and the piston and how it works, all in correlation with your fuel injectors, your spark plug, the rods, the crank, all of that stuff. I hope that it really does help you guys, put a mental picture behind how it all comes into play and with compression ratio. And I can dig deeper into compression ratio in another video if you would like to. If you do, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you'd like me to explain compression ratio to you guys so that you guys can have a better understanding of how it all works. All right, and both the 5.7 liter and the 6.4 liter both come with aluminum cast pistons, which is not ideal if you're going to put power adders or forced induction or anything that's going to, create more atmospheric pressure inside the engine, because these cars are naturally aspirated. So putting on power adders is definitely not ideal for either of these engines, but if you're going to run one, you should probably go with the 5.7 liter because you're going to have more, out of it. You're going to have more life expectancy out of the 5.7 based upon the piston, ring landing. So the top ring landing on the 6.4 liter it's way too high. Way too high for these engines, and that is one of the main reasons that you need to forge any kind of element, any kind of internal inside of the 6.4 liter before you decide to put on induction or power adders, because you're creating a situation of disaster. And what is that you do not want to blow a 392 engine. Not only are they expensive, but they're a headache to fix, and if you can save money, why not? So go ahead, forge your internals, make sure you're playing it safe, and just don't take the chance. I mean, what is the point of putting a power adder on your car if you're just going to blow it? You're going to be out of it for a few months, 4 weeks minimum, I would say, if somebody else is doing the work. And there's just no point in making it so that your car is unrunnable. I know that there's the saying, mod it, break it, fix it. But really, if you can run it 1,000 times down the track reliably, why wouldn't you want to do that? Why would you take the chance of blowing your engine when you know from a standpoint that the 392 is not the way to go if you're going to do forced induction from a stock internal standpoint? All right, guys, so one of the only things that's different, well, I would say not only, but one of the main things that's different is you have a forged crankshaft in your 392. And a lot of people get, confused with having a forged crankshaft, that they think that they have for other forged internals, like your pistons and rods, that they think that, because I have a forged crankshaft, I'm okay to push power with forced induction. But that's not true. And the biggest thing that I see wrong is that people go too far. You could probably handle 6 to 8 pounds of boost, for a little while, but then people want more and they go to 10 or 11 pounds of boost and completely just thrash their rods. They destroy their pistons, and it's expensive. That's a very expensive fix for the rebuild, teardown process, the parts, everything that you got included right there. That's a lot of money. I'll tell you right now that the 5.7 stock can handle more boost than a 6.4 can handle all day long. And that is simply, like I said before, because of the ring landings and how high they are on the pistons. So you're not going to want to take a 392, slap a tune, slap a forced induction on it, and take it out there every single weekend and just hope that something doesn't happen. You're not going to want to do that, because sooner or later you're a ticking time bomb that is going to explode. All right, so there's two different ways that this can go. Stock for stock, the 5.7 has the better internals for boost, handling forced induction. Overall, the 392 is going to be able to press more power out of it because it has better airflow and it has a better compression ratio than the 5.7 liter does. So all in all, 5.7 liter gets the win for stock internals and what it's going to be able to handle for a longer amount of time. The 6.4 liter is going to have the better performance route in the long run if you decide to forge your internals and make it better, because not only does it have a forged crankshaft, which is already part of the install process when it comes to forging your internals, but it's also got more cubic inches, it's a bigger engine, it has more capability, and it's just going to be the more successful route in the end. So to sum up this video, the 5.7 liter wins if it's going to be stock, and the 392, if you're going to build it, is going to have the better end result. So if you guys like this video, I hope that you guys will hit a big thumbs up down there in the bottom, in the right above the comment section. I would appreciate that very much. Go ahead, leave a comment on it, whether you believe that the 5.7 liter or the 6.4 liter is the better choice between the two. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I would love the added and continued support that this channel is getting at the moment. And I look forward to hearing from every single one of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. I really do.